Hello, hello, hello. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Astro Room and to another edition of the weekly Astro Forecast. All right, this is the weekly Astro Forecast for the week of December 19th through 25th, 2022. And as always, I am your host, your favorite astrologer, Mel of Divine Feminine Works, where I help people unlock their divinity and discover their magic. So if you are new, welcome. And as always, if you are returning, welcome back. This channel is everything tarot, astrology, spirituality, and manifestation. So if those are the things you like, if those are the things you love, if those are the things you want to learn more about, don't forget to hit that subscribe button as well as that notification bell, so you'll always be notified when I come out with new content. And speaking of content, head over to Instagram and hit that follow button. I've got loads of excellent daily content. Plus, I go live every there. Actually, I do not. I used to go live over on Instagram every Thursday night, but I'm sort of revamping things. I'm going to be bringing something else to Instagram in a minute, but regardless, I've got a lot of excellent content over there on Instagram. So head over there and hit that follow button. All right, my friends, hello and welcome to the Astro Room. Let's see who we got here. We've got Ramel. Hello, Ramel and Rob. Thank you for joining in. Happy Monday. Hopefully y'all are starting off your week well. It's the holiday season. For those that celebrate Hanukkah, happy Hanukkah. For those who celebrate Christmas, happy holidays. That's coming up at the end of this week. So busy week, I guess. And also, we've also got Hollow in the house. What's going on, Hollow? Oh, you just started watching the video from yesterday. Yo, check that out. Yesterday, I did a live with Rob Blackstorm and Monique Ruffin, all right, over on Rob Blackstorm's channel. You guys should definitely check it out. It was supposed to be about the new moon in Capricorn, which it was, but we talked about so much more, all right? I'm actually going to leave the link to the description for that video in the description box below because it was excellent, all right? So definitely check that out, all right? So welcome to another week, another forecast, and another season, because we have a new season upon us. We're going to be experiencing a lot of energy shifts this week because we've got Jupiter changing signs. We've got the sun changing signs, and we have a new moon. So lots going on this week. But as always, before we get into the nitty gritty, a bit of housekeeping and some announcements. All right. So if you are here with me in the live, as always, please do not forget to hit that hit the subscribe button, but hit that like button on your way in. Feel free to say hello if you are in the chat. And even if you're watching this on the replay, definitely hit that like button and the subscribe button. You definitely won't be disappointed. All right. So this week, I am actually going to be going live on Wednesday at 7 p.m. to discuss the astrology of 2023. Set your reminders. If you need to set something on your phone, do that because you definitely don't want to miss this. I'm going to be breaking down all of the important things that you're going to need to know for 2023 and perhaps beyond. So again, doing that live on Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So don't forget to tune into that. You probably see scrolling at the bottom of your screen. If you are interested in getting your weekly horoscope via text, simply text ZODIAC to 855-826-5544. I text you guys your weekly horoscope depending on your sign every Monday morning. All right. So if you're interested in that, that information is scrolling at the bottom of the screen, and it will also be in the description box below. All right. So definitely check that out. And as always, if you are new to astrology, if you have no idea what's going on, or even if you've started studying astrology and you feel a little bit lost, I've created this thing called the Astrology Basics Cheat Sheet, which is basically the quick and dirty on everything you need to know to start learning astrology, specifically the 4 pillars of astrology, which are the planets, the houses, the signs, and the aspects. It's an 11-page PDF document that gives you a quick rundown of what all of these things are so that you can start committing them to memory. Because despite what people may be telling you that astrology is evil and it's all of this other bullshit, astrology is very much a science. And as you know, with any sort of science, there's a great deal of study and research involved. So in order to get you going on your astrological journey, I created this cheat sheet. If you are interested, the link to that will be in the description box below. You just need to drop your email address and you are good to go. All right. So let's talk a little bit about what's going on this week and beyond. We are slowly making our way towards the end of the fiscal year. But most importantly, this week, we've got the sun moving into the sign of Capricorn, and we have the winter solstice. So there's this energy of slowing down that you may have already started feeling. And that is the essence of sort of the winter solstice. It's sort of when we take a break. It's when we hibernate. It's when we start to prepare for spring. And the winter solstice also signifies the return of the light. I know that it's sort of counterintuitive because we're definitely not taught this in school. Definitely not. And even out of school, I don't feel like people talk about this as much. But, you know, the winter solstice is the 50s. Hollow always comes through with the best comments. No, seriously, some people really think that astrology is like, you know the deal. If you're watching this live and if you are subscribed to my channel, you know the deal. But there are some people who really think that astrology is some evil shit, which clearly is not. But in any event, the winter solstice it marks the shortest day of the year, at least in the northern hemisphere, right? So it's the day when we have the least amount of light. But the flip side of that is that this marks the day when the light starts to increase, because the very next day, as we progress each day from the winter solstice, we get more minutes and then hours of sunlight. So it's a return of the light. It's like a resurrection in a sense. And I'm not going to go into the full astrological explanation of the resurrection and the winter solstice, but suffice it to say, winter solstice marks the time when the light returns, okay? But even still, it marks the beginning of the winter season here in the northern hemisphere. So it's a time of hibernation, which is extremely counterintuitive because it's the middle of the holiday season. And for those, I don't want to say for people who are not awakened or, you know, whatever, but, you know, before you got on your spiritual journey, this is the time where you kind of turn up. You want to go to the Christmas parties. You want to get lit. You know, you're shopping, you're doing the most, you're hanging out with people, when intuitively, at least, you know, if we're following a natural cycle, this is the time when we sort of power down, and this is the time when we rest and we hibernate. And so you may even feel the energy. The energy is conducive to hibernation. Things kind of feel a bit heavy. And that is thanks to Capricorn, and most importantly, thanks to Saturn. Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, and Saturn is a very heavy and dense energy. All right. And so with us going into Capricorn season, that's sort of the energy that we're taking on. All right. But we also have some, I'm not going to call it lighthearted energy, but we do have Jupiter moving into Aries this week, which is going to perhaps put a battery in your back, particularly as it relates to your desires, as it relates to creating your own abundance. So we have that to look forward to. And then we have the new moon in Capricorn. So again, a lot going on this week, entering a new season. And I feel like this week in particular, especially with the new moon in Capricorn, it marks a starting point to what is going to come ahead in 2023. 2023 is ushering in a completely new generation. And I'm not even kidding about that. Like, this is completely different energy. I mean, you already sense it. Even if you don't sense it, you already see it. Like, a lot of the things that we know or that we've relied on are changing, and are changing drastically. And we're going to start to see a lot of this newness solidify in 2023. And this new moon in Capricorn is actually going to be the first step in solidifying what you want your reality to look like. And your reality can look completely different than what you've relied on in the past. Your reality can be something completely different. It breaks out of the mold, and it's just something that is maybe completely new to you, new to others, doesn't matter. But I feel like the new moon in Capricorn is like that stepping stone that's going to get us there. All right. So I feel like this is by and large a pretty important week in terms of getting your mind right and getting focused on what you want your reality to look like. All right. So let's get into it. Let's take a look at the highlights and see what we have going on for this week. All right, so the first thing we have is what I like to call action and abundance, and that's Jupiter moving into Aries. And if I had to sum up that transit in one sentence, it would be creating your own abundance, all right? Abundance is not only our birthright, abundance is part of our natural makeup. Okay. And I feel like Jupiter in Aries is going to remind you of that. It's not just about sitting on your ass and just waiting for things to happen. A lot of times we need to take certain actions. Now, whatever actions we need to take don't necessarily need to be outward actions, but there needs to be something within us that initiates something in order to create our abundance. And Jupiter in Aries is going to show that to us. All right. The next up, we have structure and success, and that is the sun moving into Capricorn. Capricorn, and I'm not even going to say Capricorn energy is complex. It can be if you don't understand it, but by and large, Capricorn is very much focused on structure, discipline, diligence, working hard, success, and achievement. And so that undercurrent of energy is what we're going to be feeling during Capricorn season. And again, that's going to be starting on Wednesday. So get yourself ready, because although it's time for hibernation, there's still some work that needs to be done very much on a personal level. So that's going to be kicking off this week. And then finally, we have what I like to call new traditions. And this is that new moon in Capricorn that I was alluding to before. This is the time where, I just said Capricorn energy is all about structure. Okay. It's all about foundations. And with the new moon in Capricorn, it allows you to create a new foundation, create a new structure for yourself, a structure that is focused on success. Okay. So maybe you've assessed what has worked and what hasn't worked in the past. And now that you realize what has worked, the new moon in Capricorn gives you the momentum and the energy to solidify whatever is working so that you can build a successful foundation into the future. So really important new moon, powerful new moon. And we have that going on later in the week. All right. So speaking of the week, let's jump into the week and see what exactly we have. All right. So on Tuesday, tomorrow, we have Jupiter moving into Aries, like I mentioned. Then on Wednesday, we have the sun square Jupiter, the sun moving into Capricorn, and the moon in Sagittarius. Thereafter, on Thursday, we've got Venus trine Uranus. On Friday, we have that all-important new moon in Capricorn. On Saturday, we've got Mercury sextile Neptune, and we close out the week on Sunday with the moon in Aquarius. All right, so let's see what we have up first. All right, my love. So on Tuesday, we start off the week in a big way. And I mean big because Jupiter is a huge ass planet and it's moving into the sign of Aries. And you'll see that at the top right-hand portion of the chart, Jupiter at 0 degrees Aries. All right, so like I alluded to before, Jupiter in Aries is all about creating your own abundance. And this isn't the first time in the recent past that we've experienced this energy, because Jupiter was retrograde for a couple of months and it actually just went direct last month, I believe. So Jupiter was sort of chilling out between Pisces and Aries. So for a little bit, Jupiter was already in Aries at least a month and a half to 2 months ago. And it's the same thing. Again, it's about creating your own abundance. Now, the interesting thing about Jupiter is that its cycle is 12 years. So it basically takes a year to get through each zodiac sign and 12 years to make its way all around the astrological wheel. So with Jupiter entering Aries again, it's starting a new cycle of abundance. Now, I don't know about you, but lately a lot of the messages I've been receiving has been sort of this energy of this renewal of abundance, whether it's like you feeling more motivated when it comes to abundance. And abundance just doesn't mean money. It can mean wealth. It can mean health. It could be happiness. Whatever you deem abundance to be is what it is. And so like I was saying, I feel like there's this renewal of this abundance energy. I'm seeing it all over the place. I'm hearing about it all over the place, whether you're actually seeing it in the physical or whether you're just feeling more motivated, like you have a battery in your back right now in terms of creating abundance for yourself, or maybe even changing what abundance means to you or how you acquire abundance. I feel like that's going to be a theme. All right. So I want you to think back to 12 years ago. So between 2010 and 2011, that's the last time that Jupiter was in Aries. Think about what was going on, because that same theme is likely going to be replaying itself. I'll give you a perfect example. So I'm an attorney by trade, and in 2010, I opened my own law firm. It was on a whim. I was sort of pushed into it, not like by force or duress or anything like that, but I started getting clients without even really advertising or really doing anything. It just sort of fell together. Now that makes sense for me because Aries is my 12th house, and the 12th house is things that you can't necessarily see. So things sort of coming together on their own. That's sort of how Jupiter in Aries played out for me 12 years ago. And now I'm seeing this play out in this business right here. Things are moving, things are shaking. There's this new renewal of energy in this business that I'm working on. So I'm seeing the trend of Jupiter in Aries over this last decade or so. So again, I want you to think back to 2010, 2011. What were you doing? What was going on? What was your abundance situation looking like at that time? I think that's going to clue you into how this Jupiter in Aries transit is going to play out for you. And Jupiter is going to be in Aries for a while, okay? I think, could have sworn I wrote this down. But it's going to be in Aries for a couple of months at least, if not for half the year. I believe it's going to go into Taurus in May of 2023. So you've got a good 6+ months to sort of, I'm not even going to say get your mind right. I feel like with Jupiter in Aries, it's also about addressing your desires. Aries is all about desire. It's all about passion. It's all about what lights your fire, right? And so when you're motivated, when you're fired up, it's very easy to work on things related to that, or it's easy to move forward for a goal that you really want or something that you really desire. So it's really about listening to your desires and trying, it's being a little hedonistic also. Although hedonism sort of falls into the realm of Taurus a bit, but with Aries, it's like whatever you're fired up about, and don't overthink it either. This isn't one of those things where you have to qualify what you like or qualify your desires. You want something, I mean, as long as it's not like crazy illegal or killing somebody or something like that, like I feel like Jupiter in Aries really gets you to really go after what it is that you want. I mean, it's not something, Aries energy is not just something that you think would be nice or something that, oh, that would be cool if I had that. No, if there's a burning desire that you have, like Jupiter in Aries is all about going for it full force. One of the other things I love about the Jupiter in Aries energy is that fortune favors the bold. So Aries is all about taking a little bit of risk, okay? Aries can be a bit impulsive. So that Aries energy may have you wanting to take a risk on a whim. It may have you feeling very impulsive, maybe even a little reckless. But I also feel like even in doing that, even in being slightly reckless, I feel like the universe is going to have your back. And I feel like the littlest step that you take, the littlest effort that you make, is going to yield pretty good results, and results that you may see almost immediately. Because everything with Aries is quick. It's like a firecracker. It's quick, it's fast, it's immediate. So take that risk, take that first step. And I feel like the universe will respond in kind, especially in terms of abundance. Now, keep in mind, it's not just about abundance. Jupiter expands things, okay? And so you're definitely going to want to watch your consumption. Aries energy is very much concerned with the body, with the physical body. And with Jupiter in Aries, any sort of overconsumption could really expand your physical body almost immediately, okay? So you're going to want to be mindful of gluttony. You're going to want to be mindful of anything in excess, because that could definitely backfire, and quickly too, because again, Aries energy is very quick, all right? You said you have Aries in your 8th. Okay, so your abundance may lie in intimate partnerships, right? So if you're looking to take a relationship to the next level, even if it seems, I'm not going to say outlandish, even if it seems a little risky, that actually might pay off for you. 8th house also covers shared resources. So if you are looking to start a business, if you're looking for funding from other people, you might want to put yourself out there. You might want to put put a word out, right? That you're looking for money, because I feel like you may get a windfall of cash. You may get someone who's feeling extra generous and will want to give you some cash. So again, fortune favors the bold. That's what you're going to want to remember with Jupiter in Aries. Okay. Oh, that's right. Yeah. It's until May 2023. Okay. So interesting. So one of the things, and I don't, not too many astrologers talk about this because it's very nitpicky. It's very technical astrology stuff. But anytime you have a planet at the 29th degree, so as the planets move in the sky, whenever they get to the 29th degree of any sign, it's a really important thing. It's called the anaretic degree. And it's like the intensity just builds. It's like the energy of that planet reaches a fever pitch. Okay. And so this is happening on Tuesday. And so on Tuesday, the sun is still in Sagittarius, and the ruler of Sagittarius is Jupiter. Okay. So pay attention to whatever comes up. And if there are any opportunities that come up, even between today and tomorrow, look to see where Aries is in your chart, especially if it has something to do with that sector of your life. But by and large, I feel like any opportunities that come up between today and tomorrow, you're going to want to take advantage of it, because the sun is going to be at that 29th degree of Sagittarius. Jupiter rules Sagittarius. Is going to be entering into Aries. So take advantage of any opportunities that come your way. All right. So that's Tuesday. Let's keep it moving. All right. So on Wednesday, we've got a new season change. Oh, no problem. You are very welcome. We've got a new season. The sun moves into Capricorn. Then we have that same day, the sun newly in Capricorn is going to square Jupiter, which just went into Aries. And then the moon is going to be in Sagittarius. All right. So first up, sun in Capricorn. So I pretty much alluded to this already. But you're going to feel a very, like, whenever the sun changes signs, I feel like we feel the energy shifts pretty heavily, because keep in mind, we are just coming out of Sagittarius season. Sagittarius season, it's very optimistic. It's very large and in charge. It's very expansive. It's about broadening your horizons, going on adventures, seeing the bigger picture of life. It's large and in charge. It's just over the top. It's excessive. Okay. So we're coming out of that, and we are going to Capricorn season, which I'm not going to say is the opposite, but it's a very different feel, a very different energy. Whereas Sagittarius is very expansive, Capricorn is very limiting. Whereas Sagittarius can be spontaneous. Sagittarius is all about expanding your mind, learning new things. Capricorn is very much concerned with tradition, with structure, with how things have been, okay? So it tends to be kind of heavy, like I said before, okay? But some of the characteristics of Capricorn energy is that it is success and achievement oriented. You know, not the story of Capricorn, but the symbolism of Capricorn is the goat. And typically it's depicted as making its way up this mountain, and even the littlest ledge the goat will use to get to the top. It's all about getting to the top. That's the essence of Capricorn season. So you may be very success minded, and this kind of makes sense, right? We're at the end of the fiscal year. This is the time when we're taking stock of what we've done over the last year, what we've accomplished, and thinking about what we'd like to accomplish in the next year, right? I would say, generally speaking, we are success oriented. We can be negative, right? But generally speaking, when you think about goals, you think about succeeding at your goals, right? And achieving your goals. And Capricorn energy is great for giving you that motivation to get to the top and get to the finish line. It's also about responsibility, work, and diligence, which again, if you think about culturally, this being the holiday season, it's a little counterintuitive. Because basically, this is the time where you should be getting to work. This is the time when you think about setting a foundation Meanwhile, culturally, it's really a time to like let loose, not do work, and not think about the future, right? You're just thinking about having fun and getting lit. So, I mean, it is what it is. But things like standards, structure, reputation, tradition, responsibility, those are some of the key words associated with Capricorn energy. So this is the energy that's at our disposal during Capricorn season. And again, because of the winter solstice, because it's winter, because of that heavy Saturnian Capricorn energy, there's also a time to hibernate, right? This may be a time where you kind of hunker down and you do certain things, you do certain work right now, whether it's personal, whether it has to do with your career, whether it has to do with your spirituality, depending on where this is going down in your chart. It is a time to get to work. It's a time to be serious, diligent, practical, future oriented. Well, let me not say future oriented, because future oriented is usually reserved for Aquarius energy. But I will say Capricorn energy is kind of future oriented because it's all about success. It's all about reaching the top, reaching the finish line. So that's sort of where our minds and our consciousness is going to be during Capricorn season. Okay. Capricorn season is all about having tangible results. You know, they say people lie, but numbers don't. Okay. And that's sort of the essence of Capricorn energy, especially with Mercury retrograde right around the corner. Mercury retrograde is going to give us the opportunity to reflect on a lot of things. With Mercury being in Capricorn, we're going to be reflecting on the results that we've achieved, or maybe the results that we haven't achieved. You can't expect results for work that you didn't do. And Capricorn is big on that. All right. If you didn't do the work, you cannot expect the results. But for those that have done the work, Capricorn season may be a time where you are recognized, where you are given awards, where you are put in the spotlight for a job well done. You know, Capricorn is very much concerned with work. So career issues and themes related to career, your job and work may come up just for the sheer fact that Capricorn energy is all about work. Okay. Capricorn season may also be a time where you have tangible results. Okay. This is why, well, it's kind of fitting that many companies, right, give bonuses at the end of the year during Capricorn season. Bonuses can be automatic, but a lot of times they're merit based. If you did the work throughout the year, you get a bonus at the end of the year during Capricorn season. A lot of times people are promoted during Capricorn season, particularly once January hits, right? All of that is Capricorn energy, being promoted, being recognized, given awards, success, achievement. All right. This is also the time where you, okay, how would I put this? So I want you to think about Earth energy generally, but think about it in terms of Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. Taurus is when you put in the initial work, right? Virgo is when you perfect that work. Capricorn is when you put the finishing touches on it. Capricorn energy is like being almost at the finish line. You know how especially when you're running a race, right? You're almost at the finish line. That is not the time to slow down. You can't think, oh, let me slow down because I'm almost there, because your opponent might breeze right past you, right? That time where you give that extra push. And when you get to the top, when you get to the finish line, that's sort of the way that Capricorn energy works. And so this may be putting the finishing touches on long-term projects or long-term goals, okay? Or realizing that maybe the work you haven't been doing or the effort you haven't been putting in has gotten you nowhere, and sort of scrapping those ideas and getting ready to start fresh. Okay, so it's putting the extra finishing touches on whatever long-term goals you've been working toward. All right. So then we have the Sun square Jupiter. Okay. And I like this because Sun in Capricorn is already getting you on a very sort of serious mindset, right? Especially when it comes to work and things like that. And with the Sun square Jupiter, even though the Sun is a square is a harsh aspect. Anytime you have Jupiter in aspect to a planet, it usually yields positivity. Okay. So with the Sun square Jupiter, this can have you feeling confident. It can have you feeling proud. It can have you feeling lucky. This is also one of those transits where you may get recognized, where you may get an award or a promotion for previously good work, previous job well done. anytime you have Jupiter in the mix, there's always this energy of excess. There's always this energy of more is more, right? Whenever you're talking about the sun, you're talking about yourself, your personality, your self-worth, your self-confidence, okay? So there's a tendency with Sun square Jupiter to be overly confident or overly proud, right? So you're going to want to practice moderation. You want to be confident, you want to be proud, but never too much, okay? Because as good as this transit could be, if you take it too far, it could really sour it. Okay, so be confident, but don't be cocky. Don't be a dick about things. All right. Be proud, but not pretentious. Okay, that kind of a thing. You also may have a tendency to want to do the most, right? Because with Sun in Capricorn, it's all about work and things like that. So you may have this confidence, you may have this motivation to do 1,000,001 things right now. And just like I mentioned before, you don't want to overdo anything, all right? Practice moderation, focus your energy on what's immediately important. Try to narrow down your list to what's pertinent or relevant at the time, and then focus your energy there. And in doing so, you're going to be able to get a lot further. I feel like a lot can be accomplished, a lot can be done, okay? But you definitely don't want to overdo it. You don't want to burn yourself out or burn any bridges in the process if you're too cocky, if you're too pretentious, things like that. And it just promotes working hard. The one thing that I will say about Capricorn energy is that it's about hard work. So the answer to many things is just, work at it, perfect it, practice it, keep going, be persistent, be diligent, okay? And I feel like Sun square Jupiter is all about that. And like I mentioned before with Jupiter and Aries, it's about creating your own abundance. So Sun square Jupiter actually lets you put in the work to do that. Perhaps the physical work, the actual work that you need to do to create that abundance for yourself. So if you can, definitely take advantage of the energy by doing the work, whatever the work is. And again, you're going to want to look at your natal chart to see what that is. But whether it's physical work, whether it's work related to your career, maybe you need to work with other people if you've got some Libra energy in the mix, right? So whatever you need to do to create your own abundance, come Wednesday, or definitely come Sun square Jupiter, you're going to want to do it. All right. So keep that in mind. And then finally, we've got the moon in Sagittarius. All right. And so I was just talking about Sagittarius energy earlier and how optimistic and upbeat it tends to be. And so when the moon is in Sagittarius, because the moon is all about our emotions, we're upbeat, we're optimistic, we see the bigger picture. And I like this sort of combination, right? On the one hand, you have the sun in Capricorn. Then you got the sun in Capricorn square Jupiter in Aries. Like I just mentioned before, you're going to feel motivated to create your own opportunities, to create your own wealth, to create your own abundance. And with the moon in Sagittarius, you're going to feel optimistic about it. Not just that, you're going to be able to see the bigger picture. So I feel like Wednesday is going to be one of those days where you're going to be feeling good. You're going to be feeling amped. You're going to be feeling motivated to pursue your desires, to pursue success, and to pursue abundance. All right. Now, here's the thing. We're making our way to the new moon, okay? So the moon is going to be in Sagittarius, but it's going to be the waning crescent phase. And whenever we're in the waning phase of the moon, that's when we get rid of the things that we no longer need. So you're going to be feeling upbeat. You're going to be feeling optimistic, but you're also going to be in a place where you can reflect on what has worked, what hasn't, and get rid of what hasn't been working. If you realize that you have certain bad habits, if you realize that there are certain people around you that are impeding your success, people that are sort of being obstacles in the way of your success and achievement, it's time to really think about what to do about that. All right. So moon in Sagittarius is going to give you those opportunities, give you that energy, and make you feel good about doing these things. That's the most important thing. It's about feeling good about it, because Capricorn energy is heavy. It's dense. It's about putting in the work, especially when you don't want to, right? Especially when you don't feel like it, especially when you want to be lazy. Capricorn energy is like, no, get that ass up and get to work, right? But at least with the moon in Sagittarius, you're like, all right, I understand why. I know why I got to put in the work because I have this goal. I have this desire. I'm working toward it. I know what I need. I know what I don't need. I know who I need around me. I know who I don't need around me. And I'm good. I feel good about it. All right. So take advantage of this energy on Wednesday because I feel like it's going to be really powerful. And it's leading us up to that new moon in Capricorn, which I'll get into in a second. But first, let's see what's going down on Thursday. All right. So on Thursday, we've got Venus trine Uranus. All right. So Venus is currently in Capricorn at 15 degrees. And then Uranus is currently in Taurus at 15 degrees. All right. Lots of earth energy. Okay. Venus trine Uranus, it gives you this feeling of excitement. It gives you this desire to want to try something new. And because Venus is in Capricorn and Uranus is in Taurus, you may want to try something new as it relates to money or as it relates to assets. Okay. I feel like you may want to try different ways of making money. You may want to, you may have flashes of insight or aha moments when it comes to maybe diversifying your income, finding new income streams. Anything tangible is what earth signs are all about, right? It's about tangible results on the one end with Capricorn. On the other end with Taurus, it's about material things, like things you can actually touch. So I feel like with this transit, it's wanting to find new ways of getting shit, honestly, getting money, maybe you want a car, maybe you want to buy some luxury goods or something like that. It's just being excited and finding new ways of doing these things. Now, Venus doesn't just cover money. It also covers relationships, right? And love and things like that. So this could be a chance encounter with someone. This could be meeting someone out of the blue, interacting with someone you've never interacted with before, who could be very valuable to you in your life, whether they're actually giving you money, they could be leading you to the money, they could be helping you with assets. Like there's this undercurrent of money. But even with Venus in the mix in relationships, these could be people who could be helping you make money or amass money. Okay. But one of the things about this transit is that it's like shiny thing syndrome, right? I just talked at length about Wednesday, right? With Sun and Jupiter, Sun square Jupiter, Sun in Capricorn, Jupiter in Aries, Moon in Sagittarius. You're all fired up, ready to go to work, ready to get down to work, ready to, follow your desires, meet your goals, all of that great stuff, and be diligent about it, right? Venus trine Uranus may kind of throw a monkey wrench in that, right? Because let's say you have a goal of buying a house, right? And with everything going on astrologically, you're like, all right, I'm going to start working overtime. I'm going to start saving my money. Venus and Uranus is like, yo, let's buy that Gucci bag. Let's get something new. It's the holiday season. Let me spend some money. Let me do this. Let me do that. So it might throw a monkey wrench in your long-term plan. So be mindful of that. There's nothing wrong with a little indulgence, right? Venus always loves a little indulgence. Venus loves to look good, smell good. If you want to treat yourself to something nice, perhaps for the hard work that you've done, cool. But you definitely don't want to overdo it. You definitely don't want to derail yourself in terms of your goals, all right? Because here's the thing with Saturn energy. Saturn energy does not play. If you get off track, Saturn energy will make you feel those consequences, all right? So keep that in mind. Like I said, you can indulge a little bit, but you definitely don't want to overdo it, okay? Now, depending on where this transit is going down in your chart, this could have to do with romance, okay? And Venus trine Uranus is great for wanting to feel excitement in relationships, okay? Wanting to try something new. If you are single and not partnered up, this is a great time to really put yourself out there and be open to new types of people and new experiences. If you are booed up or partnered up, it's a great time to try something new with your partner. But keep in mind, this transit also lends itself to things like affairs. It lends itself to sneaky links and things like that, all right? So keep that in mind if you are partnered up. It's one of those situations where, especially if you're partnered up, you want to try something new, your partner doesn't. It could be this imbalance, although it is a trine. So I feel like y'all may be on the same page, but keep in mind there is that undercurrent of affairs and stuff like that with this particular transit. So keep that in mind. But apart from that, this transit is great for shopping. If you're in a position to go shopping, you're going to feel good about going shopping. It's great for financial bonuses, windfalls of money. Under this transit, if you're someone who likes to gamble, you might want to try your hand a little bit. You may win more than expected or win at all. But one of my favorite aspects of this particular transit is creativity. Your creativity may be sparked on a whim. It may be one of those things where your intuition just guides you to do something completely left field that's very creative, that's very much an expression of you, and that could be lucrative depending on what you do with your creativity. So allow yourself to tap into your creativity. If you want to indulge in a little bit of shopping, do so, but don't allow yourself to get derailed or too distracted from where you are trying to go. Shiny things can be nice, but don't allow them to derail you from your final destination. All right, so let's see what we got for Friday. So on Friday, we have, this is like the star day of the week, in my opinion. We've got the new moon in Capricorn going down at 1 degree of Capricorn. You'll see the bottom left-hand portion of the chart. You'll see the sun and the moon both at 1 degree. All right. So I kind of alluded to this before, but this is the new moon where you can set a new tradition for yourself. Okay, this is super important, okay, because going into 2023, we are going to be required to set new foundations for ourselves, set new traditions, set new structures. And this new moon in Capricorn is what is going to set that off, okay? It's like I said, and you're going to want to tune in on Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time because I'm going to go live to talk about the astrology for 2023. In 2023, everything is going to start to look different. We're entering into a new generation. Things are changing rapidly, and that's a good thing. A lot of the structures in our society are outdated. They no longer serve us. They are not of our highest good. And so we're in a very unique position right now to create our own realities, to create our own structures. No longer do we have to fit into a particular mold, okay? We don't have to do that. We can fit into whatever mold we want to fit in, and we can create that mold ourselves. And this new moon in Capricorn is going to give you that opportunity, okay? So Capricorn is a cardinal sign, and cardinal energy is very much concerned. I don't know if you guys can hear that. My dog is wilding out right now. I don't know if you can hear the barking, but I hope she's okay. But she's just like wilding out right now. So if you hear my dog, I apologize. So like I was saying, Capricorn is a cardinal sign. Cardinal energy is very much focused and concerned with starting new things. It's initiating energy. It's a little difficult with Capricorn because Capricorn is very dense energy. Capricorn energy crystallizes things. So starting something new during Capricorn season can be tough, okay? But that's kind of by design. Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. Saturn is all about obstacles and challenges. So starting something new during Capricorn season is going to be obviously very tough. But here's the thing. If you can start something... Oh, you don't hear? Okay, thanks. If you can start something during Capricorn season, it will likely last, okay? Just like I was watching this YouTube video about, business and finance. A lot of people talking about we're in a recession or we're on the brink of a recession or whatever it is. I know I'm not in a recession. I don't know if you choose to be in a recession, but I know I'm not. But they say if you start a business during a recession, like if you're already prepared to weather a storm, by the time good weather comes, you'll be smooth sailing, right? And that's sort of the essence of Capricorn energy. If you can start something during difficult times, if you can be diligent, if you can be productive when all you want to do is be lazy, you are likely going to be in it for the long term. And that's really the most important aspect of this new moon. It's starting something when it may be a bit difficult, starting something when you can't necessarily even tell what the end result is going to be, right? With all of these shifts and everything going on in society, it can be kind of difficult to see the light at the end of the tunnel, let alone know if there's light, if there's the end of the tunnel, right? But if you can do that, if you can have the personal resolve to do that, whatever you set up right now is going to set you up lovely for the future, definitely for 2023 and beyond. Okay. And it's happening at 1 degree Capricorn, which is the initiating degree. Okay. Now, the 1 degree has a lot of energy associated with it. It's the Aries degree. When we're talking about 1 in numerology, it's about, the sun. It's associated with Leo. It's associated with standing out, with starting something new. Okay. So we're already in a cardinal sign, Capricorn, and we're already at like an initiating degree, the 1st degree. So now more than ever, this new moon, you're going to want to get to work, whatever that work is. Again, you're going to want to look at your natal chart to see where this is going down. Okay. And sidebar, between now and January 15th, I am offering natal chart reports and progressed natal chart reports for $60. These reports are extremely comprehensive, but the purpose of why I'm doing this at this time is because this is the time where you really need to know who you are. Things are shifting. We're entering a new generation. Like, you really need to know who you are. And you know that through your natal chart and your progressed natal chart. So I've opened my schedule just for that. I'm not doing any readings. I'm not doing anything else but those 2 things. So if you want to take advantage, those links are going to be in the description box below. But again, check your natal chart to see where this new moon is going down. That's going to let you know where you need to put in some effort, where you need to put in some work, where you need to start thinking about, what foundation, what new structure, what new traditions do you want to implement in your life, and how are you going to do that? It's not going to be the time for action, okay? Especially because Capricorn energy has a lot to do with work, okay? And if you're talking about work, we've got Mercury about to go retrograde. Mercury has a lot to do with transactions. This isn't going to be the time to actually physically do things, but I feel like it's going to be the time to start to get your mind right, because Mercury is in Capricorn. Let's see. I want to see if Mercury is actually conjunct. Mercury is not necessarily conjunct this new moon, but it's still in Capricorn nonetheless. So this is where you're going to want to get your mind right, your mind focused on the end goal, focused on the finish line, and focused on what kind of structure you want to implement for yourself in 2023 and beyond. All right. You're going to want to get your mental wheels turning. You're going to want to think future oriented, and you're going to want to get your mind right. Okay. This is about creating new legacy. Okay. Lately, I've just started getting comfortable with disseminating a lot of the channeled messages I've been getting, because lately Spirit has been telling me a lot. Okay. And one of the things I've been told is that a lot of people are being prepared to begin new legacies. Some people, you're going to be starting a whole new ancestry, a whole new family tree, a whole new bloodline, right? And I feel like Capricorn, this new moon in Capricorn, is going to be the catalyst for that. I'm not saying you're going to start a whole new family tree on December 23rd. I'm not saying that. But I think the wheels are going to be turning for some. For others, I think external circumstances are going to present themselves to get you in that mindset and sort of allow you to understand that you are someone who's going to be creating new legacy. Okay. It's really important to pay attention to what's going on around the new moon. Okay. That's going to clue you in to what you need to work on, what you need to work at, and what you need to get your mind focused on. Okay. It's going to be about blazing your own new trail, veering away from tradition. But you're going to feel that tension because the new moon is going to be square to Jupiter in Aries. Okay. And so even though this new moon is all about creating something new, we're still doing it in Capricorn energy. And Capricorn energy is all about tradition. It's all about structure, particularly the structures that we've come to know and rely on. With that square to Jupiter in Aries is like, I want to do what I want to do. I want to follow my passions, my desires, create my own abundance, create my own shit. Meanwhile, the new moon in Capricorn is like, yeah, I hear you, but this is what reality looks like right now. This is what we're working with. And you have to have the wherewithal, you have to have the perseverance and the diligence to overcome those obstacles and those challenges. This is about creating your own reality. And you know where you create your own reality? Here. You do it here first. But a lot of times it's kind of difficult to create your own reality when you're looking at your current reality. You're looking at the 3D reality and you're like, how could I possibly do this? How could I possibly create a new legacy when I have nothing to my name right now? I don't even have any kids. I don't even have anyone to have kids with. You have to surpass that. You have to go above and beyond that and say, you know what? I don't care what my 3D reality looks like right now. That's irrelevant. It's a non-motherfucking factor. What I want, what I desire, what I want to create, it's already created because I already have it up here. You have to stick to that story. You have to stick to that narrative. That's the essence of Capricorn season, because Capricorn season is going to throw you curveballs. It's going to throw you challenges, obstacles, delays. And you're going to be like, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't do this. Maybe this is not the right time. Nope. It is the right time. It's the right time. You just have to persevere and be diligent and trust and believe. You're not going to get immediate results. Okay? You're not going to have a legacy. Yes. Forget what your eyes see. Focus on the goal. Exactly, Hollow. You're not going to see immediate results. You're not going to grow a tree tomorrow, but you got to keep working. You have to keep tilling the soil. You have to keep aerating the soil. You have to keep watering it, giving it enough sunlight. And eventually, as you continue persevering and doing the work, you will you will grow your tree. All right. So it starts now. No matter how hard it may seem, no matter how impossible it may seem, how far-fetched, how much it doesn't make sense. Keep at it. You will not be disappointed that you did. All right. Let's see what we got next. All right, so on Saturday, we've got Mercury sextile Neptune. So Mercury is currently at 22 degrees Capricorn, and Neptune is at 22 degrees Pisces. All right, so let's talk about it. So Mercury sextile Neptune is a great day to relax. Anytime you have Neptune in the mix, it's about sleeping. It's about dreaming. It's about escaping. Okay. So this is a nice day to relax your mind. I've talked ad nauseum about this Capricorn energy, and it's about work and it's about diligence and doing all the things and getting your mind right. Saturday is a nice reprieve from that. You can just rest, relax. Tap into your creativity. Don't overburden yourself with what you think you need to do. Capricorn energy is slow moving. Okay. This isn't where you need to come up with ideas today, put in the work today. Like, you have to be diligent, but remember, it's a marathon, not a sprint. So Saturday is a great day to just relax your mind, escape, watch movies, socialize, tap into your creativity, do some artwork, take your mind off all of the seriousness. Okay. And if you're someone that celebrates Christmas, it's Christmas Eve. Enjoy the company of people and just lighten your load a little bit. Again, it's a great day to just relax, be with people that you care about, and be creative. But keep in mind, anytime you have Neptune, your dream state may be extremely vivid and active. So you may be receiving messages, psychic impressions, vivid dreams, lucid dreaming. Pay attention to those things because they may clue you in on where you need to go, what you need to do, what you need to be focused on. But by and large, chill, relax, watch some Christmas movies, hang out with friends and family, and just take your mind off things. It's the perfect day for that. All right. And finally, we get to Sunday. And so we close out the week with the moon in Aquarius, and you will see the moon at 0 degrees Aquarius at the bottom portion of the chart. All right. So when the moon is in Aquarius, we are attracted to new and unusual things. Aquarius is an air sign. Okay. I know it's symbolized as the water bearer, but it is indeed an air sign. So it has a lot to do with the intellect, has a lot to do with learning, but technical learning. It's also very future oriented. And I sort of alluded to this earlier. Capricorn is future oriented because it's focused on goals and success and achievement. But Aquarius is more so future oriented because it's focused on the actual future, technological advancement and things like that. Okay. It also gets us in this mood where we can tap into our need to improve, okay? Because it's so future oriented, we may be thinking about what we want to improve in the future, how we want our future to look. We're open to new and exciting things. We just think about the future. So it's a great day to plan, even though here, for those who celebrate Christmas, it's Christmas Day. You may not be sitting or maybe you will, sitting and meditating or sitting and planning. But if you can plan for the future, it's a good time to do that. But Aquarius energy is all about humanity. And in a more realistic sense, it's all about like socializing and being with people. And what better day to do that than during a holiday? So this is about talking with people, planning with people, brainstorming, things of that nature. By and large, it's just really a time to be social. Okay. You may feel, what's interesting though, right? I talked about Capricorn energy and how it's all about tradition. Aquarius energy is all about breaking from tradition. And it's funny that the moon is in Aquarius on Christmas Day, right? So many of you may feel like you don't want to do the typical things you do for holidays. You may just want to go rather than spend the holiday with family, you may want to spend it with friends or people who feel like family. You may want to do something different and change it up. And I highly suggest that, right? Because again, in 2023, we're entering a new generation. This new moon in Capricorn is all about new traditions, blazing new trails, and setting new structures for ourselves. So if you feel like doing something different, I feel like now is really the time to do it, okay? And so because we're just coming off that new moon, the moon in Aquarius is going to be in the waxing phase. So this is when you take action steps toward your goals. This is when you remain positive and have faith in the successful outcome of what you're trying to achieve. All right. So if you want to do something different, if you want to veer off the beaten path, if you want to experience something new and you don't want to stick to the same family dinner with the same dry ass turkey every year, do it. The astrology definitely supports you, even if your family doesn't. All right, my friends. So that has been this edition of the weekly Astro Forecast for the week of December 19th through 25th. I sincerely hope that you were able to get at least one important piece of information that you can use going into this week. All right. And so if you celebrate Hanukkah, if you celebrate Christmas, if you celebrate anything around this time, I wish you nothing but the best. And I wish you the happiest of holidays. All right. Thank you so much for tuning in. Take care, and I will see y'all in my next video. Take care.